I'm back again with another video, and today's video, I cannot speak English. Today's video is going to be relationships involving spina bifida, and I'm doing spina bifida specifically because it's what I have. So, yeah. Why I'm doing this video? So, a few days ago, or about a week or two ago, probably now, my friend, she has a Facebook page, which I'll link below, and she basically posted on there for people to like give me topics to talk about in a spina bifida video, and that was one of them. So that is what I'm doing today. Also, I did a poll kind of situation on my Instagram, and I just asked what kind of videos people wanted to see. And a lot of them said spina bifida related, so that is what I'm doing. This video will be split into different sections, so because there are 5 different topics I'm going to cover in this video, so if you want to just look at a certain topic, or if it's just a certain topic interests you more, then you can do that. All of the topics and everything will be listed in the description with a time guide for you guys to look at in case you're curious if any. Because this probably will be a longer video. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible, but I do tend to talk a lot, and there's a lot to talk about. I cannot speak today. So, yeah. Anyway, request videos down below if you have any video requests. And don't forget to subscribe. Oh my Jesus. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on all of my social medias as well, which will be listed below and at the end of the video. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now I have everything listed as far as every topic that I'm going to talk about. I have it listed on my laptop right here, so if you see me looking over, that would be why. So, about the first topic is what is spina bifida. So, I'm going to try to kind of explain it to you guys. There are 3 types, which I'll go over in a minute, but there are 3 types of spina bifida, and just like any other disability or condition, it does affect everyone differently. So that's an important thing to realize as well. But spina bifida basically means where, again, it's going to affect everyone differently, but basically, in a nutshell kind of situation, it is basically where the spine and the spinal cord do not form correctly, and the spinal cord isn't completely protected with skin. Therefore, it creates what's called a spinal sac, which has cerebral spinal fluid in it, and that basically has all of the nerves and everything because the back was not fully closed correctly, didn't form correctly. So that's kind of in a nutshell what spina bifida is. If you want any other information, I will include some links down below, and also the exact definition probably right here somewhere for you guys if you're curious about the actual definition. Okay, so now let's go on to topic 2. Topic 2 is, when do you tell your partner you have it? And this is probably the main point of the video, but I do have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. So the first thing is to start slow. Now, this is going to depend on from person to person. Now, your preference of when you tell them is completely different. So it's going to be completely different than a different person, obviously. Everyone is different, so it's going to kind of depend on what you want to do specifically and what works best for you in terms of when you tell them. But I would start slow. I wouldn't, because it is a lot of information to kind of take in all at one time. So I would kind of ease into it. I wouldn't necessarily hide it, which is my next point, not to hide it, but I would not just spit everything out at once, because again, it's a lot of information to go through and to process, especially when if that person knows nothing about it. It's a lot of information to kind of gather all at one time. So start slow. Don't rush into it. Take things slow, and pace yourself. My next one is don't hide it. Now, I mentioned this a minute ago, but you don't want to hide it, because ultimately you need to make sure that they are aware of it. Because if this is going to be a long-term relationship, you need to make sure that they're prepared. Preparedness is probably the most important thing. You want to make sure they're prepared for what's going to happen. What maybe extra medical things you have to do because of it, and how it affects you, because it affects everyone different. So try not to hide it if you can. Know your preference of when. Now, this is another big one, because just because you might want to tell somebody right off the bat doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't. So it's important to, not everyone is very comfortable with their condition, as far as certain things that it may entail. So it's important that you are confident in your disability or condition, whatever you want to call it, and also that you are comfortable with what you tell them. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to tell them all at once. You can tell them certain things you're comfortable with up until you get comfortable with the person, if that is your preference. But it is very important that you know what your preference is as far as when you tell that person. Don't feel like you have to rush to tell them. Just do it at your own pace. My personal opinion would be to tell them right away, but understand that does not work for everyone. So, like I said, you don't want to feel rushed to tell them, but my personal opinion would be to tell them right away, so that they have time to be prepared as the relationship goes on. But that's not everyone's preference, and that is completely okay. What is not okay is hiding it. I don't agree with hiding it or thinking, oh, I'm not going to tell this person until years later or months later. I do think that it's something that they need to know, not right away, but it is something that you need to keep in the back of your mind to tell them eventually, because it is something that, like I said, if this plans to be a long-term relationship, that you need to make sure that they are prepared. My next one is encourage them to do their own research. Now, when I say this, it means, again, it can be a lot to take in at once. And so I would encourage them to look up certain things if they can, because I think, them doing their own research, they can do it at their own pace. They can look up certain things that they're curious about, or that you may not be able to explain very well, and they can get it in a sense of how they understand it. They can do specific research that you may not be able to do because you're not them. Everyone understands things differently. And so I think encouraging them, even though it may be scary, I think encouraging them to do their own research will help. Because again, like I said, they can kind of do it at their own pace and find a way that works better for them and a way that they can understand it. So topic number 3 is help them understand. So what I mean by that is explain what the condition is and how it affects you. So like I mentioned earlier, it affects everyone different. Not everyone is going to be affected the same. So it's important that you need to kind of understand and help them understand what your condition is specifically and how it affects you. Because the more knowledge they have, the better they can help you. Explain things like extra things you have to need help doing. So if you need help showering, if you need help getting dressed or getting in your chair, that sort of thing, it would be a good time to explain that to them as well. Again, the more they know, the more they can help. Explain your level of spina bifida. Now, some people may not know this, and so you may have to do a little bit of research to figure it out, because it is kind of confusing, at least it is to me. But it's important that you know the type and the level of the defects that you have, because that way you can also better understand it, but also they can understand it a little bit better as well. Because again, like I keep saying, the more knowledge they have, the better they can help. Now we're going to move on to topic number 4. Topic number 4 is be prepared for confusion. Yeah, be prepared for them being confused. Understand that your partner, that if this may be the first time that they're hearing it about it and they may be confused, it's most likely that's going to happen. And it's nothing wrong with it. They just maybe you've never heard of it before. And this is a good time to educate them and, educate them as much as you can. And again, like I said earlier, make sure that they can do their own research. But it is also important that you try to educate them as much as you can. That way they can help you and kind of get a better understanding of what may lie ahead. Another one is answer any questions they have as honestly as possible. Again, not everybody is comfortable with answering certain questions, like bathroom situation or showering, things like that. Those are more personal topics that you can discuss later on. But I do encourage you to be as honest as you feel comfortable being, because the more that you can be honest with them, it helps them prepare for what might happen later. For example, if you need help with showering, they can be prepared for that, for when you guys move in together, or if something was to happen, they would already know what to do because they would be prepared. Next is educate them as much as possible. So again, it goes along with them being prepared. If they're educated, they're most likely going to be more prepared for things. So I would educate them as much as you know, and what you don't know, you can do your own research with. Now we're going to move on to topic number 5. This is the last topic of this video. So topic number 5, work together. A relationship between two able-bodied people is hard enough. So you need to be patient. Like I said earlier, they may not have heard of the disability before. There's people that have never heard it before, and it's completely fine. But you need to make sure that you're patient. If they ask 100 questions at once, be prepared for that and be patient when it happens. Because they're probably scared and have no idea what it is. Or maybe just have curiosity questions. It happens. And so try not to be too frustrated with it. Try to be as patient as you can with them, because it's an adjustment for you as well for them. So try to be as patient as you can be. Don't get frustrated with your partner. They cannot take care of you right away. They have to be taught. Now, what I mean by this is simply what it says. If they've never heard of the disability before, they might not know anything about it. Therefore, they don't know how to help you. So, again, it goes along with educating them. I know I'm repeating myself, but they kind of all go hand in hand if you think about it. Because if you explain to them and teach them, how things that you have to do differently, such as help getting dressed, or if you have a certain medical routine, such as medications you have to take daily, a cathing schedule, those types of things. It's going to take a little bit for them to be taught that and for them to get used to it. So again, be patient. They're not robots. They don't come programmed with these things. So it's important that you're as patient as you can be and try not to get frustrated. I know it is frustrating, but try to be patient, because they're learning too. It's an adjustment for you as well as it is for them. So just be patient. Next is communicate. Now, communication is probably the key to any relationship, but it's also one if you're not able-bodied. And, don't be afraid to speak up. If they're doing something that you don't like, or they're not doing something that you need done the correct way, don't be afraid to say something. They may get frustrated or upset, but at the end of the day, it's you that matters. It's you that needs to care, not them. They're just aiding you in it. So at the end of the day, it's you that needs the care. And it's important that it's done right so that both of you can be as healthy and happy as possible. So I hope these tips helped you, and I hope that this video helped you. If you have any further questions, or anything that you would like, a specific topic, any video requests that you have of a specific topic that you would like me to include in my next video, go ahead and leave a comment for me down below, and I will for sure to read them, and I may just do your suggestion. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and if you have any other comments, questions, or requests, go ahead and leave it below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.